Today the story of the Samaritan woman, and it's very famous and very common to all of us. We know that we read the same exact part and same exact chapter during the Lent. It's the fourth week when we, during the Great Lent, the fourth week of the Lent, it's called the Samaritan woman, as you all know, and we read the same exact chapter. And then this week, the third week of the Holy 50 Days, we repeat the same part. So, but actually there is a difference. And during the Lent, our main focus and the church focuses with this part on the repentance, of course. Because the Lent is the journey of repentance, and they pick different weeks, and for the week of the Samaritan woman, they focus on repentance and the change that happened to her life. But during the Holy 50 Days, like today, the church brought this chapter to focus more on the work of the resurrection, the power of the resurrection. How the power of the resurrection changed the life of this woman and can change everyone's life. And also the church called this week the living water. So if you remember last week, it was Christ saying, I am the bread of life. This week, I am the living water. We said like every week also of the Holy 50 Days has like a topic or a title. So today he's saying, I'm the living water. And when Christ says, I'm the living water, what's water for us? Is it something essential or something that we barely use? It's something that we use every single day, right? Every single maybe hour or every single minute in everything in our lives. So the water is very essential to us. The same thing, Christ wants to tell us that He should be essential in our lives for everything in our lives, not just something that we use every now and then or we remember every now and then. No, it's the water it's the source of our life. And how He gave us this life, as we said in the beginning, through the resurrection. So what exactly did Christ do on the cross? He conquered death, right? And as we all know, death is, it says in St. Paul says that death is the last enemy and the greatest enemy, right? So when Christ conquers death, nothing else can stop us, right? Nothing else can prevent us to unite with Him. Nothing else can be greater than death. So everyone, if they fear nothing in life, at the moment of death, it's very scary sometimes to some people, right? So on the cross, Christ already had victory, and when He resurrected, He shows us the victory and how He conquered death, and He's now here to give us this power, give us this victory. So nothing else can prevent us. Nothing else can stop us. So if I am suffering from any sin, from any problems, of any struggles, nothing is going to be more than death. Nothing is going to be more harsh than death. And since Christ already abolished death and conquered, so I can do anything through the power of the resurrection. That's why here today when we read the Pauline epistle, there was it has the key words of today's theme. When St. Paul says, if then you were raised with Christ, seek those things which are above, where Christ is sitting at the right hand of God. Set your mind on things above, not on things on the earth. For you died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. So that's the whole thing. Now Christ risen from the dead. So if we rose with Him. This is what St. Paul is saying. You already raised with Him. How this happened? When we all went to baptism. We were baptized, we died with Christ, and we rose with Him, right? So He's telling us, now you are a new humans. Now you have a new nature. So if you rose with Christ and you have raised with Christ, seek those things which are above. So now our minds and our hearts has to be seeking things that are above, things that are in heaven. And if we do this, a lot of things will change. So imagine those holy 50 days, it's like a training. When you go to a new job, you have like 2 weeks or 1 month of training, right? So you learn everything and you practice how to like work, how to deal with problems and work, right? So imagine those holy 50 days, it's like a practice and training of how to live as a resurrected person. How to live with this resurrected mind. It's a practice. You have to the holy 50 days, the church doesn't focus on anything else except the resurrection of Christ, right? Every week we go around, every time we meet one another we say, Christos anesti, Christ is risen. So the whole focus is live like Christ, who rose from the dead. Take from the power of the resurrection to live in your life. That's why St. Paul, after this, he says, yes, set your mind on things that are above, and then he's going to start tell us how should be a person who resurrected from the dead, how should he live. See, in verse 5, it says, put to death your members which are the earth, fornication, uncleanness, passion, and he's going to start saying a lot of things that a resurrected person with Christ should not live like, who should not have those things in his life. Like this Samaritan woman. This Samaritan woman was seeking maybe a wrong type of love, was seeking maybe wrong desires, lusts, but she couldn't find any. But when she met Christ and the resurrected Christ, she changed completely. So St. Paul is telling us, if you are one of those people who are resurrected with Christ, you should not live according to your desires and according to your earthly needs and lusts. So if I have those in my life, no, I should not, because I resurrected with Christ. I'm seeking things that are from above. I'm not seeking any more things that are on earth. Other than this, it says in verse 8, it says, now, same thing, put away from yourself all of these, what anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy language. Do we have any of these in our lives? So if I have it, so I'm not resurrected with Christ. If I don't have it, or I'm trying to get rid of it, now I'm trying to live as a resurrected person. So the Holy 50 days, yes, I repented in the Lent, but the Holy 50 days, it's a way to practice like I'm living in heaven. No, I should not be angry anymore with people. I should not be harsh on people anymore. And it says after this, I know we don't have time today, but the chapter is full. But it says what in 12? Therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, put on tender mercies, kindness, humility, meekness, long-suffering, bearing with one another and forgiving one another. Do we do this? Do we forgive one another? Did we change our attitude? So again, the Holy 50 days, it's a chance for us to live those things. As we said, to practice those things, to make it something normal. Because he's going to say here, also after this, that we should change in verse 9, do not lie to one another, since you have put off the old man with his deeds, and in 10 he says, and have put on the new man. This is what resurrection did, and that's what baptism did for us. We did our old man, the inner old nature, now is gone, and now we have a new nature, we have a new life to live according to. It's like the resurrected Christ. I heard very nice example that says, the submarine. A submarine underwater. It's most of the time is underwater, but it doesn't fulfill its job and mission without having this, tall. I think it's called periscope or something. I mean, that's now there's new technologies. But this submarine, if it doesn't have this periscope, when they look on the surface, it cannot do anything, right? It doesn't know where it is or whose enemies out there. It's used to do like this. Now there is new technologies. But this example is nice. We live underwater like you live on earth, but our eyes has to be in heaven. Our eyes and minds has to be, like St. Paul said, in heaven, seeking things that above, to be able to live. Because when you seek things out above, other things on earth will not matter anymore. Oh, this person is not nice to me, will not matter. I will forgive him. I will be nice to him. Oh, I see people like having so much things, I don't have it. It doesn't matter. I don't have this kind of greed or this kind of lusts. It doesn't matter because my eyes are focused on heaven. And as I said, at the end, even if you go to the Catholic epistle, that's the last thing I'm going to... St. John says also in 14, we know that we have passed from death to life because we love the brethren. He says that an indication of us passing from death to life, we are resurrected, that we love each other. So put these things let's put these things in our minds. Do I live? Sometimes we feel that the Holy 50 Days is time for having fun and that's it. It's not the time for like spirituality and like coming to church. No, it's time to practice our resurrected life, our pure life. So get away and get rid of all of these things in our life and focus on the things the new life and the new nature is about. Loving each other, long-suffering, and stay away from all, like, as St. Paul says, wrath, anger, lusts, and everything else. So, and the good example was this lady, like as you said, the Samaritan woman, who was freed, right? Who enjoyed this freedom of her bad desires and started to be a person like a resurrected person. So may God give us this power of the resurrection and bless us on this day, and glory be to forever. Amen.